if you're trying to get a payday loan within an hour or the same day, I'm going to show you some of the best places you can go when you have bad credit. Okay. Now, the first place you want to look at is Explore Credit. Now, here's the thing about it, Explore Credit. You can see that they offer payday loans, or loans that is, from $250 up to $2,000. But the thing you have to understand about Explore Credit, they are a tribal lender. Okay, and so that means that where your traditional banks and credit unions, the interest rates are not going to be as high versus the tribal lenders, because they have their own discretionary in terms of how much they want to charge you on interest. Okay, however, they are much excuse me, they are much more flexible than your banks and credit unions, because say that you have a high debt to income ratio, like with most banks and credit unions, if you're over that 55%, maximum 60% threshold, they won't work with you. Okay, or if you have recent elections or something like that, your traditional bank or credit union won't work with you, where these tribal lenders, they are a little more flexible. Now, I would tell you the minimum income that you should have for these type of lenders is at least $1,000 a month after taxes. Okay, that's one of the biggest criteria. So the next lender we're talking about is big buck loans. Now, here's the thing about a big buck loans. They are a platform. They're not an actual lender. All right. However, they use mostly tribal lenders. So they are a database, right? And they use mostly tribal lenders. But you can see here, they offer loans from $100 up to $5,000. And that's the reason they said all FICO scores are welcome. Right. And so the thing about it, as you can see here, funds transferred within 15 minutes. So these are lenders that look at your situation, okay, and they try to analyze who would be willing to work with this person, especially when you have bad credit. Who's willing to give you the chance if they see that, okay, you have enough discretionary income to where you're able to pay it back. Just keep in mind, again, that the interest rates on these type of loans are very high. Now, being that Viva Loans is a platform also, again, these are the type of platforms when you put your information in, they're going to look for a lender to help you. Now, here's the thing about it. You do have to have an active checking account. So some of you all may be wondering if they accept Chime. Some of these lenders will accept you if you're working with a Chime checking account. All right. So that's something that a lot of people worry about, that's been in check systems, or you are in early warning systems, and you using Chimes or whatever. This is one of those lenders that may be able to help you if you're using Chime. Okay. Now, the next lender is Credit Fresh. Now, Credit Fresh, they offer lines of credit up to $5,000. Now, here's the thing about it. You have to understand, they are a tribal lender. Now, here's why I like lenders like Credit Fresh that offer lines of credit, is because with the line of credit, when you borrow from it, okay, they only charge you interest on what you actually borrow. So they'll give you up to $5,000 on that line of credit. But here's the thing about it. They give you the $5,000, but you only use $3,500. They're only charging you for what you actually use, versus when you get a loan or a payday loan, they actually charge you on the whole amount. So that's the reason I like lines of credit. All right. So this is another. Then you have Uprova. Okay. And so Uprova, as you can see here, they go from 300 up to 5,000. Also a tribal lender. Okay. And like I said, for most people that are struggling to pay some bills, life happens. The reality of it is life happens. Unfortunately, some things is just out of our control. We may need money to pay our rent. We may need money to get the car fixed, but life does happen. And sometimes you may be short on funds and you need the money. And again, like your bank can't help you, your credit union can't help you. These are the places that will have the highest chance of helping you. The next place we're going to be talking about is Giggle Finance. If you are an entrepreneur or you're in the gig economy, okay, then, and you worried about your credit, you have horrible credit or whatever, well, Giggle Finance is one of those lenders that's willing to work with you. Okay, long as you've been in the gig economy, and I'm gonna show you what I mean. As you can see, no credit requirements, funding up to $5,000. But this is where it really is most important to you guys. App-based freelancers, small businesses, sellers and franchise and independent contractors. Okay, long as you can prove that you've been generating revenue consistently for at least 90 days, this is the type of lender that will help you. If you're not working a W-2 job, this is the type of lender you want to go to. Now, the minimum 90 days, minimum income is usually about $1,200 to $1,500. Okay, that's what they want you to be making. Speaking of W-2 workers, I always tell people, before you go out and approach these type of loans, unless you don't have a choice, then I would tell you to go to your HR and you want them to fill out this here form. It's the W-4 form. Okay, it's employees withholding certificate. And what it is, you file an exempt. This is what the form looks like. You're going to file exempt so they can stop taking out federal income taxes, so you can bring home a bigger paycheck. That way, you may not have to resort to applying for loans with these high interest rate tribal lenders, okay? But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So I'm not knocking it. I'm just letting you know that this is one of your best tools that a lot of people don't exercise. And I would tell you, please, if nothing else, go to your HR and get this here form, fill it out. That way you can bring home a bigger paycheck to get caught up on some bills. And I always tell you about the free website, unclaimed.org. And you can see here, find and claim, right? And it's a free government website because there are where the government may have money that's owed to you. And they're just sitting there holding it, right? And nobody has claimed. You may have relatives that have thousands of dollars over here and they don't even know it. And so this is a place you just go here, you click on your state, you put your name and your address in, and if there's any income out there, they will tell you, and then what you do, you would have to fill out a form so you can claim it. There's another place. If you've worked a job and you didn't receive that last paycheck, or you may have a pension or something out there, you may can go to webapps.dol.gov. This is Department of Labor. You go here, you put in your information, put the company name and the state in, and they will see if there's any money out there that belongs to you or a relative, and they'll send that money out to you. Now, one of the things I would tell you guys, with these here tribal lenders, the biggest challenge that most people are not aware of, that they don't use the main credit bureau. They use these third-party credit bureaus like Teletrack, which is owned by Equifax, okay? Now, here's the key that most people still don't understand. You're not going to get denied more likely because of your credit score. It's because of databases, financial credit bureau databases like that hold on to your address, okay? Your old addresses, right? And so when they hold on to those old addresses, then you put your updated address on the application, because it's not matching that information and they share that information to these lenders. What ends up happening, you end up being denied. Okay, so you can actually get your financial report. I always tell you guys, go for your financial report. Then the next financial credit bureau is Clarity, which is owned by Experian. Okay, and as you can see here, you can get your report, you can do your credit score, your financial credit score, that is. You can put a fraud alert, you can do a security freeze, you can opt out, you can contact them as well. All right, so this is also another financial credit bureau that could be holding you back from getting funding. Then there's also DataX, which is owned by Equifax. It's a financial bureau as well, okay? And it holds a lot of information. Your last rental agreement, all this information about you personally. These are the third-party companies that hold that information. And yes, like I said, you can definitely get a copy of your reports to see what's in those reports. Then the last one is Factor Trust. And the reason I always tell you about Factor Trust because they owned by TransUnion. And as you can see, yes, you can get your report, you can do a fraud alert, you can do a pre-screen, opt-out, security freeze, and do disputes. Okay, so I just wanted to bring this video to you, especially if you're trying to get a payday loan right away and you need money right away. I'll put some of the links down in the description. If you have any questions, you can also schedule a one-on-one consultation. I'll see you in the next video.